Hey guys, this is Subhashish Mishra, your test coach. Today we will learn in detail about Git and GitHub concepts. If you don't know anything about Git, no worries. Here I will explain everything in detail. Please watch the complete video, and I'm sure in the end of the video you will be confident to use Git and GitHub. Here we will learn about all these concepts. What is Git, different Git features, different Git commands. Here you can see I have written all the Git commands, and then what is GitHub and how to use it, difference between GitHub and Git, and how to contribute in GitHub open source projects. So we'll discuss all these things in detail. Before we start, if you are very new to my channel and watching my video for the first time, then I have a long list of interview questions and tutorial videos for you. I'll give the playlist link in the video description. Please go through that. If you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you will not miss any further notification. Okay, so let's start. First, we will understand what is Git. So, Git is a free and open source distributed version control system which enables you to store code, track revision history, merge code changes and revert to earlier code version when needed. What it means? I'll give you two examples. First example, let's say you are 3 developers in your team and all are working parallelly on a project, and all of you are writing code individually and pushing the code to a central server. After some time, when the project will increase, it will be very hard for all of you to manage and maintain all the code changes and updates because you don't know who is doing what. If someone is modifying your file or you are modifying their file, there is no way to track it. You will face lot of conflicts. But if you will use Git, you can resolve these conflicts very easily. We'll discuss how it is possible. Before to that, let me tell you the second example. Let's say you are working on Amazon web portal and you have developed a new feature and released it to production. But after production release, you see a major issue and Amazon.in website is not loading. It can be a big impact, right? For the company, it is a big impact because Amazon.in website is not opening, right? Company can get into loss. So you need to resolve this issue in few minutes. What you will do in that case? You have two options, right? One is either you understand the issue and fix it and then deploy it into the production. But if you are understanding the issue and then fixing it and then deploying it, it can take lot of time. You cannot wait for that much time to fix the issue because the issue is very severe. Again, you have a second approach. So what you can do in the second approach? You can just go back and deploy the old stable version in production. So it can happen very quickly. How it can happen very quickly? Because if you use Git, you will have a old previous stable version. You just need to take that and you just need to deploy it. So your application will be up. Then you can analyze the issue and then you can fix it and then you can deploy it. That is fine. But in that point of time, you can mitigate the issue. So that's the power of the Git. You can resolve the issues in few minutes or seconds. Okay. Now coming back to the definition of Git. So Git is a version control system, right? So basically Git is used to store your code, and these codes in Git can increase because many developers are working and they are adding code in parallel. Okay, so Git as a version control system helps in handling this by maintaining a history of what changes have happened, who did the changes. Okay, so Git provides features like branches and then merges it. Okay, so we'll talk about all these branch and merge in our latter part of the video. Again, one more thing is Git is a distributed version control system. So Git has a remote repository which is stored in a server and a local repository which is stored in your computer. That means the code is not just stored in a central server, but also the copy of the code is present in all the developers' computer, okay, who are involved in developing the project. So the code is present in every developer's computer. That's why Git is called as a distributed version control system. Now let's see how you can install Git. So if you go to Google and just type install Git, so here you can see the website. You can just click here, okay. It will land you to this website gitscm.com. Here you can see different operating systems, Mac, Windows and Linux. You can click on whatever you want, okay. Then it's very easy. You can just click next and you can install it, okay. So once you download, then you can install it. Once you are done with the installation, you can go to your terminal. Here I am using Visual Studio Code, okay, and what you can do, you can just type git -- version, okay. So here you can see the Git version whatever you have installed, okay. Now once it is installed, Git is installed in your machine, the very first thing you can do is git config, okay. Means you should set your name, email ID and all, right. So if you will do some code changes, people will get to know this person has done the code changes, okay. So to do that, you can use a command, for example git config, okay, and then -- global, okay, and then you can give user dot name, okay. So whatever name you want to give, for example here I will give my name is Subhasis Misra, okay. So I have already set up my name, so I am not using this command again. Similarly, if you want to use the email, you can give the same thing also, dot email, and here you can give any email ID whatever you want to use, for example subhasis@gmail.com, okay. So that is the email ID you can give, or you can replace with your email ID. Basically this username is your Git username and this email ID is your Git email ID, okay. If you want to check the username, you can use git config -- global user.name. So this will give your username. Similarly, if you want to check the email ID, you can check user.email. So git config -- global user.email. It will give you the email ID, okay. Now if you want to edit what is the username and what is the email ID you have given, if you want to edit it, what you can do, you can just do git config, okay, then -- global, then edit, okay. So if you will do this, you can change your username and email ID and all, okay. So you can use this command to edit your username and email ID, okay. Now you are done with setting up the config and ready to start with project and all, okay. So first we will create our project folder. Here I am using Visual Studio Code to execute all our commands. You can use terminal also, not a problem, okay. So remember, Git will work for any type of code, doesn't matter you are writing it in Java, C, Python or JavaScript or anything else, okay, doesn't matter, Git will work for any language and all, okay. So first thing we will create a folder, okay. So to do that, what I will do, first let me clear this, okay, and I will just create one folder. So I will use the command mkdir. So you know mkdir is the command to create a directory or folder, okay. So I will create a folder as learn git, okay, and enter. So now I will go inside this folder. So cd, so cd is change directory, okay, cd, then learn git, okay. So I am inside this folder now, learn git folder, okay. So maybe what I can do, I can open this learn git folder in here also. So I'll just open and I will open this here. So I have opened the terminal also here. Now we are inside this learn git folder, okay. This is the folder which we have created, okay. And what we will do now, we will create a local repository, okay. So here repository means a project which you are tracking through Git, okay. We want to make this folder as our Git repo and we will do it using a command, that is git init. So what you can write here, first git then init. So this is the command to which will add a local Git repository to the project. So here you can see it wrote, right, initialized empty Git repository in this location. Okay. Now what we will do, we will add a file inside this folder. So first we will create one file, maybe demo.java. Okay, and here maybe we will write something, anything you can write. I am just printing something here, so no worries, you can write anything whatever you want, not a problem. Okay. So now what we want to do, now we will see what is this file status inside our Git. Okay. So to do that, what you can write git status, status. Okay. So now you see here, so we are inside the branch master. I'll come here, what is this branch means. Okay, and it is telling no commits yet, and here you can see on-tracked files, one demo.java. It means we have created one file which is not tracked by Git yet. Okay, so we want to track it. Okay, so basically this git status command provides the status of the files which are changed inside this particular directory. Okay, inside this particular directory whatever we created, it will give the status of that. Okay, now you can see this file is not getting tracked. So to get it tracked, what we can do, so here it is telling, right, git add then file. Okay, so we'll track it, right. So we'll write git add, then we'll write this demo.java. Okay, enter. Now again do git status. Now we can see this demo.java file is getting tracked and it is inside the staging area. So what is the staging area means? Let me explain you that, right. So one of the core functions of the Git is the concept of staging environment and the commit. Okay, so as you are working, you may be adding a new file, editing an existing file or removing files. So whenever you finish that work, first you should add that file to a staging environment. Okay, and then only you can commit. So here you can see that, right, this is the working directory. Then with the git add command, you are adding it to the staging area, and once it is added in the staging area, then only you can do a git commit. Okay, so then you may have a question, why we need this staging area, why we can't directly commit, right. Let's say you are working on two files, but one file is finished and other one still needs some work to be done. In that time you want to make a commit and go home, but do not want to commit the second file which is not done yet. In that time you can stage the completed file and commit, while the second file is still in work in progress and will present in your working directory. So that's why this staging concept will help you. Okay, so that's how this concept will help you. So now we will commit our file using commit command. Okay, let's see how we can commit this. So to commit a file, what you can do, you can write git commit, okay, then -m, then a message. So here m stands for message, and for example I'll give the comment here as fast commit. Okay, let me do this. So here you can see one file changes, 5 insertions, creation mode, this. Okay, so here m stands for message, and you give a meaningful, you always give a meaningful message so people can understand this commit is done for what. For example, in future some issue came and someone else is looking into this, so they should understand what you have done with this commit, what is the purpose of this commit. So message should be that much understandable. Okay, if you want to see how many commits are done, you can use one more command, that is git log. Okay, so it will give you how many commits are done. Okay, so here you can see the commit ID. Okay, and it is done to the master branch. Okay, who is the author and email ID, and what is the date and time when this commit has happened, and this is the commit message. Okay, now what we will do, we will add a new file and we will see what is the status. So for example, now I will add a new, just a text file I will add. Okay, and again maybe I'll just write testing, added a new file, anything. Okay, this all for testing purpose, that's why. Now what we'll do, we'll see what is getting tracked, right? So we'll just do git status. Now you see new.txt file is not getting tracked. Okay, now what we'll do, we will track this file, right? So for that, what we'll do, git add new.txt. okay, again you can commit this. How can you commit? Git commit, then here maybe the message will change, we'll add new text file committed. Okay, now you see this file also got committed. Now you can see the git status. Okay, so everything is committed here. Now what we will do, we will do some changes, okay, to this demo.java file. Let's for example testing a file, I'll just write. Okay, so I did some changes to this demo.java file, and now let's see this. Now see, this file is not getting tracked. Okay, so again we need to add this file and we need to commit it. So to add, what you can do, you can do git add then file name. Also you can do git add dot. Okay, it will also add all the files. Okay, and if I'll see the status now, see this is getting tracked, and now we will commit it. Okay, so git commit, and this is the modified Java file. I'll just write modified Java file committed. Okay, and now we'll see the all commits. So to check that, we can do git. Now you see there are 3 commits. So the first commit was Java file committed, modified Java file committed. This is the third, and this is the second one, new text file, and here you can see the first one, right? Now we will learn about the branch concept. Okay, so to see the branch, what you can do, you can just type a command git branch. Okay, now you can see you are inside the master branch. Okay, so when you start, it starts with master branch, and then you can create multiple branches from this master branch. So whenever you start something, start some Git project and all, it will be always your master branch. Then you can create multiple branches from there. Okay, so you can create n number of branches from master branch. Also you can create different branches from your develop or release or feature branches. Basically it works like a tree structure. Every branch has its record of commits that gets merged with the master branch. You can switch across these branches easily using git commands. I'll show you that. First, let me explain you with a real-time example and understand how convenient it is to work on a project when you are using Git. Okay, so let's assume you are working on a project along with your colleague. You both working on 2 different features. Here you can see feature 1 and feature 2, and both created 2 different branches, okay, from the master branch. So here you can always see this is the master branches, this is the version 1.0, 1.1 and 1.2. Okay, and from this version 1.0 you created a feature branch and you are working on a feature 1, and your colleague created feature 2 branch and he is working on the feature 2. Okay, then when you guys are done with your work and you guys felt like everything is working fine, you felt feature 1 is fine, and your friend, your colleague felt that feature 2 is working fine, then finally you merged these 2 things with the master branch, and the master branch version got changed to 1.1. Similarly, again one more feature or maybe a hot fix, maybe something came in the production, we want to fix it immediately, right? That we call as hot fix. Then again we created one more branch and then we fix it here, and then we merged it to the master branch. So basically you can create multiple branches from your master branch. Also remember, you can, for example, this is a feature branch, you can also create one more branch from here, no issues. Okay, so you can create multiple branches. Okay. So when you work in real time, the code which is deployed in production will be in master branch, and when you are working on certain feature, you can create develop or feature branch from the master branch. Okay. So let's see, here we see we are inside the master branch. First we will create a develop branch now. So to create a develop branch, what you can do, you can just write a command git, okay, then branch, then you can give the branch name. For example, I give the branch name as dev here. Okay. So now I created one more branch. Okay. So again you can type the git branch, and now you see we have two different branches, one is dev, one is master, but we are still inside the master branch. Okay. So how you can go inside the develop branch? So you can use the command git checkout, okay, and then dev. Okay. So we are switched to the branch dev. So you can see we are switched to the branch dev. Okay. So again you can do git status, and here you see on branch dev, nothing to commit, working tree clean. Okay. So now we will create again another feature branch from the develop branch. So what you can do, again the same thing, you can write git checkout, okay, and then -b, okay, then here I will just give Subhasis and feature. Why I am giving like this? Because this is the naming convention I want people to follow. People should create with their own name and then the feature branch. Okay. So now you see the command what I used, right? It's not like first I created the branch and then moved to the feature branch. So here I directly created and checked out to the this branch. Okay. So here you can see switch to a new branch. So you can use this command to create and move to that branch. Okay. Now again if we'll do git status, here you can see on branch this, okay, nothing to commit, working tree clean. So now we are inside the feature branch, and what we will do, we will create a feature file here, because inside the feature branch we want to develop a new feature, right? So for that we will create a new feature. So let me just create a new file, maybe I'll just name it as feature1, okay, dot java. Okay. So maybe here I will give something, let me just copy and I'll put it here. You can give anything. So testing a feature file. Okay. Now we'll see what are the status here. Okay. So let me just add git status. Now you see we have one feature.1 file which is not tracked. So first we will track this file. So to track the file we will write git add and feature1.java. Okay. Then again git status. Now it is tracked. Now what we'll do, we'll just commit this file. So git commit and -m. Then here we can give the message. So let me say committing feature1 file. Okay, you can give any comment, not a problem. Okay, so this is committed, and now we are inside the feature branch. So now what we want, we will go to the dev branch and we will see what is happening there, right? Whether dev branch is aware about this file or not. Let's see. Okay, so just notice these things. So we will go to git checkout and dev. Now we switch to the dev branch. Did you notice something here? So here we don't see that feature1.java file, because this branch is not aware about the feature.1 Java file which is developed inside the feature branch. Okay, that's why we are not seeing it here. So dev branch or master branch, they are not aware what is happening in the feature branch. Okay, now what we will do, now we want to push that file to the develop branch from the feature branch. So what we will do, we will use the merge command. How you will do that? You can use git merge. Okay, then From where you want to merge it? You want to merge it from the Subhasis/feature branch. So you can write this git merge this. See, now you can see the feature1 file because it got merged from feature branch to dev branch. Similarly, we will go to the master branch and we will see if that file is there or not. Now you just notice here. Now what I will do, I will just write git checkout and master. Okay, so we switch to the master branch and now see this is not there. So again what we will do, we will merge. So git merge, here we will merge from the dev branch. Okay, now you see the file came here. Okay, so now in all three branches we got all the changes, all the files are same in all three branches. Okay, so that's how this branches work, and you can create multiple branches for multiple features and finally merge all these things with the master branch. Okay, now we will see one more thing, that is Gitignore file. Okay, so what is this Gitignore file? So basically in Git you can create a .gitignore file. Okay, it is a text file that tells Git which files or folders to ignore in a project. Okay, so a local .gitignore file is usually placed in the root directory of the project. Okay, so here first what I will do, I will create a .gitignore file. Let me do that. So here you can just write .gitignore. Okay, enter. So basically whatever we will write inside this, those folders and all will get ignored. For example, what you want to ignore, right? So for example, there is a file where you stored some sensitive information like DB credentials or some passwords or something which you don't want to expose. Okay, so that kind of files we can ignore. For example, let me create here one file like credentials. Okay, text. Okay, anything you can give, for example some password equal to ABC, anything. So we want this file to be ignored. Okay, so let me show you that. So here if you will see, if you will just do git status, now you see this credential file is not getting tracked, right? So anyway we want to ignore this. So what we will do, this credential.txt file we will put inside this gitignore file. Okay, and just save it. Now again you do git status, see nothing to commit, and this is ignored because whatever you will put inside this gitignore file, that will be ignored. So that's the beauty of .gitignore file. Now we will see about GitHub. So don't get confused between Git and GitHub. Git is a software which is installed locally on the system, where GitHub is a service which is hosted on web. Git is a tool to manage different versions of edits made to files in a Git repository, whereas GitHub is a space where we upload a copy of the Git repository. Okay, so Git is a version control system that lets you manage and keep track of your source code history, where GitHub is a cloud based hosting service that let you manage Git repositories. So to know more about GitHub, here you can come to this github.com website, and here you can create one account. If you do not have any GitHub account, it is very simple. You can just give your username, email ID, password and all, then you can create your account. GitHub is really good if you want to contribute to the open source world. You can create projects and upload here. It will add a lot of values to your resume. Anyway, I have already one account and I am already logged into this github.com. So first what we will do, we will create a new repo here. So if you will come here, and here you can see new repository. So let me create a new repository, click on new repository. So here you can see, here I can give the repository name. So I'll give the same like learn git, okay, what we have given there. Okay, and what we will do here, you can make it public or private, and for now I am ignoring all these steps. Let me create repository. So now you see there are few things written here, right? Create a new repository on the command line or push an existing repository from the command line. So what it is telling, if you are first time creating a new repository, okay, you can use these commands, but if you have an already existing repository, then you can use these commands. Okay, so we have already one existing repository, okay, so we will use this command. Before running that command, let me just show you one more thing. So you can write git remote then -v. So you see nothing is getting displayed. Now you just type that command and hit enter. Okay, now what you do, again you use that command. Now you can see these things, right? Origin and origin, this github.com, and this is the link, and then fetch, and here you can see push. Okay, here we will understand an origin concept. Using this origin command, you can tell your local repo where you want to push the file. Now we will push to the origin location. So what you can do, you can just write git then branch, okay, -m master. Okay, let me just type this, and then what you can do, git push, okay, -u then origin master. So basically we are pushing our code. Let me enter. So now you see all my codes got committed. Okay, now how to check these things? Again you go to your GitHub, okay, and let's go inside this repository. Now you see Subhashish Mishra committing feature 1 file, and here you just see 4 commits, okay, whatever the 4 commits we have seen there, right, and these are the files, all are committed here. So inside the master we see all these files came. So we have successfully pushed our code inside the GitHub. Okay, so whatever was present in our local repository, we pushed that code inside the GitHub. Okay, so finally we have pushed our code to GitHub. This is how you can create multiple projects and push your code to GitHub. Again, if you want to do some changes to your code and want to push it to master, we can do that. So for example, here inside this demo.java, testing a file, or you can write testing a file. Today I am just writing anything, and let me save it, and here you can see git status. Okay, this file is changed. So first we will add git add dot. Okay, now we can commit it. For commit we can write git commit -m then message modified demo.java file. Okay, so we have committed this file. Now we want to push this. How we will push? Again we can do the same thing, git push -u origin master. Okay, let's see this got changed. Now if you will come here and if you will just refresh it, inside this, here you can see 32 seconds ago, and if you will go inside this file also, see, testing a file today. Okay, so you can see these changes, this came here. Okay, now if you want to push a different branch, okay, how you will do it? So first we will check out to the dev branch. For example, we want to push the dev branch, so git checkout dev, okay, and then you can push it. So again the same thing, git push -u origin, here you can write dev. Okay, in place of master you can write dev. Okay, and if you will come here again, you will refresh, you see here both the branches master and dev, both the things came here. Now we will talk about one more concept, that is git pull. So git pull is used to pull the latest changes from the remote repository into the local repository. So push, what it is doing? Push is doing from the local to the remote, but pull will do from remote to the local. Okay, so the remote repository code is updated continuously by various developers. So we should do a git pull whenever it is necessary, right? So to do that, what you can do, you can just write git pull then origin master. So it will pull, for example, any other developer have added something to the master and you want that latest to be in your local. So you can write git pull origin master. It will pull all the changes. Okay. Now we will see how you can collaborate and work in your GitHub project. Okay. So for example, you are leading a team and a project. So you want to add some more people who can collaborate and contribute to your project. Okay. So once people are added as a collaborators, they will able to push, merge and do all the changes. Okay. So how can you do this? So here you can see one setting. So inside your project, here you can see one setting tab. So just click on that. Okay. Inside this setting tab, here you can see manage access. Just click on that. So here inside the manage access, here you can see you have not invited any collaborators. For example, this project I want some people to work on this project also. They should add some code. So I can add people and here I can give their email ID and just click on the select a collaborator. Okay. So they will get the email, they will get notified. Once they accept it, they can also add their code to this space. Okay, that's how this collaborator things works. Okay, so multiple people can collaborate and can work on a same project. Now I'll tell you one more thing. If you also want to contribute to any open source project, how you will do it, right? So basically you go to that project. Okay, so this is your project. You go to the project where you want to contribute and first you need to fork that project. Okay, so you need to fork that Git repo. So once you fork that, you will get a copy of that repo which you want to contribute in your GitHub. Then you can change inside that copied repo. To change the files, first you need to get that project in your local system from GitHub. For that you can clone that repo. So once you clone, create your branch and then do necessary changes, commit that file and then push to your GitHub. Once it is in your GitHub, then create a pull request to the original project. Then the owner of the project will get notified about the changes. He will review that changes and then accept or reject your changes. If everything is fine, he will approve your pull request and then merge to the original projects. So that's how you can contribute to any open source project. Okay. In the end, I will just show you one more command. So that is the clone command. Basically the clone command is used to clone an existing remote repository into your computer. So you can just write git clone and then you can give the URL. Here this is the URL, right? But anyway, I will not copy here because this is the same project, right? So I will not copy, but if you will copy to your some other location, this is how you can clone it. So basically it will, you will get the same project inside your computer, inside your local system. Okay, so congratulations guys, now you know all the basics of how to use Git. So go ahead and explore more. Hope this video is helpful for you. Thank you. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. I'll try to explain it. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel.